Okay, next one talks about auto read electric meters. And if you go down to the water, there's auto read water meters in there too. At $80,000 for each for electric and water.
160,000.
Yep. Now, in order for this to happen, it is that we would need to be able to get some grant funds. And there's some grant funds through USDA. And we certainly could try to apply for those grant funds, where we had been eligible for up to 55% of the project. Yep. Yep.
Right now we're spending 3 guys, 3 days each, 3 meetings.
That's all of our guys, you know, so it ends up
Just the
being,
electric part of it, 3 guys.
yep, for a day and a half. But when you look at this meter thing, you really got to kind of look at it as water and electric together, because it certainly only makes sense if we do them both together. And you know, as far as how the funding would work, and but when we look at real benefit, you know, I would argue there's bigger benefit to the water utility, as far as getting accurate reading out of our meters.
Who puts them in then if we buy them?
This number has $40 a meter to contract somebody to do it.
I was going to say, otherwise Jack would spend all summer putting in water meters.
Yep.
There's a lot of water meters.
Oh, sure.
Well, there's a lot of them are in pits too, and that makes it kind of a, because the pit's somewhere else, an electric meter's somewhere else, so then if you use an auto read, I mean, they might be 40 foot apart, so, I mean, there's a lot to it. If it's just like in a house in town where everything was together. But a lot of these around the lake have some different setups. They're not very easy to.
I know it's pretty hard to get to $160,000 worth of savings, isn't it?
Yes, and the biggest savings, the biggest way that you account for this is through increased revenue of water. I can't tell you how much that's going to be, you know, but it will be some. You know, we do know that our water loss is at 40% right now, or it's been pretty consistent around there for the past couple of years. And, you know, and that never gets down to much less than 25. You know, 25% water loss is still generally accepted as acceptable. But there's, you know, even if there's 15%, we can try to account for that. Interested? Keep it in there.
I'd say no. Excuse me.
I agree with them.
Correct.
Electric capital fund, again, I told you that it had been running about 30,000 historically. This would suggest 30,000. And that's somewhat subject to change depending on how the rest of the electric fund ends up looking. If we can fund more into that account, I would certainly argue that we ought to do that, just because really you're just paying yourself, you're just funding your account. And we do the same thing for transmission, where we set aside an extra $15,000 every year for transmission. And we've used some of that fund to buy some transmission rates. In the past couple of years, there hasn't been any activity there, though. So we've just been, again, stockpiling the fund. Fire department, where they wanted to look at this outboard motor for the boat, $3,800. The vehicle stabilization kit for vehicle rollover accident. Getting a new gas detector, and the ice rescue suits and the swim.
Next snowmobile that goes in, that guy buys 2 suits.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Pardon me?
What's his name? sled.
is,
Toboggan they pull on it?
yeah, and it's,
Get in the water and hook them on and get them out.
Is it like a rescue sled or
It's a
home
rescue.
equipment?
The body recovery sled, I think is.
yeah, that's what I,
They already have them.
Do you?
Yeah.
And why was Jimmy want one?
I don't know, I'd be glad to have them stored at his place instead of ours. Matter of fact, we'll bring it down to the drags on Saturday.
Cool.
But
Maybe they don't know you got one.
evidently not.
But we don't have suits, right, to get in the water?
we do not.
And that would probably be a good thing to have, because by the time Carol can get here, the other person do that, there's
Yeah,
no one
that's too
there.
bad.
And I'm not sure you can get from the fire department down there in time, but I'd feel a lot better if it was my kid in there, if somebody would come from there than come from Carol.
Okay, well, we'll check out that sled issue.
Now, the vehicle stabilization kit, that's when it rolls over, they put some posts under it.
No, it's airbags.
No, we did the airbag last year, right?
Right, so it's rolled over, they put these airbags underneath it, and they raise it up to a, still an uneasy area where it might tip either way, and the stabilization kit is the thing that wouldn't allow it to tip.
Sort of like a tripod, I suppose. Some sort. Years ago, we just changed them to the truck.
That's probably not acceptable anymore. I don't know.
And the outboard motor, is he still looking for a used one? I can't remember now. He
This is-
said he was just gonna buy a new one.
This is the new price.
When I first heard that about the boat, I was, thought, well, what do we need that for, really heavy? But when I seen that they've got that sonar on there, I mean, that to me made a whole different, at least we got a use for something that's gonna go out there other than the poor guys around the lake real fast, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's cheap one for the families.
I agree with that. That's why, I pay that up to you.
During next budget year, it'll be time to buy garbage bags again. And if we look at the same quantity, it'll run us about $6,000. Okay, and then we're into the parks where this talks about replacing that John Deere four-wheel steer car.
Everybody knows around that.
Tony, you got any thoughts on that?
Tony would like to buy that one.
Pouring salt in the
That's because
Would it pay Tony on it? Is that help?
You know, having said that, though, we would still certainly intend to keep this John Deere in good working condition, and it takes a little bit of repair money in order to do that.
Well, I guess I don't understand, I mean, is it really that bad, or is it just general maintenance on it? It doesn't get that many hours anyway, or, I mean, is it just completely broke? Because you hear...
I mean, there's some bigger stuff wrong with it. Not so much that they don't use it.
It's not a big major safety hazard or anything.
And so long since we talked about that, I couldn't even tell you what the specific problems are. You
I think
remember
this
those?
four-wheel steer lawnmowers are a bad idea. They don't work.
Oh, they've loved using that thing. It's been a good lawnmower
They
for
break,
us.
because there are too many moving parts. Just need a regular lawnmower.
You know what those problems are, though, Jack?
I don't know.
Because like I said, they still use it. It still operates.
Well, what's the worst it could be, is some bushings and the axles and the blade and bell. What else could be?
I don't know.
I wonder what it's doing. Is it flopping or something, or just bushing?
I mean, I guess, there's a difference between it being just wore out, kind of junky, or being completely unsafe, or someone shouldn't be.
And it's the first one, not the second.
Okay. Because if you ask different people, you hear different things.
I'm sure it's fun.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
things
we
go
wouldn't-
plenty
we
fast
wouldn't-
when
we wouldn't
crossing
run that. That general capital fund, though, we do set that $4,600 aside for, basically does buy those future mowers. Replace the 3 steel exterior doors on bathhouses. And I would tell you that needs to be done. A couple of those are existing steel doors, and they're rusting out up underneath, and really does need to be done pretty badly. One of them is wood, we would be replacing the steel. We would like to install 6 more of those auto flush valves, and that would finish out one of the bathhouses. And really, that's another one of those just generally good things, you know, whether
Because people never use the regular one.
for cleanliness, it is the way to go. Should even ask about the barber shop.
What do you think, Tim?
Okay, that's good enough.
We're on camera.
I would certainly like for you to consider though replacing the counters in bathhouse number 1 and 2 and the sinks in number 2. Just that, even the way they were installed originally, the counters end up draining backwards and they always hold water, and they've gotten to where they've now started to rot away. They need to be addressed.
Can you install one? Are there people that can do that?
Our project worker. But that'd be, you know, and that takes Lon away from doing that too, because Lon certainly would need to help them out and show them how to do things.
Well, you only got $2,000, so we must be doing the labor. I'll give you hire that then.
It's just my estimate. So I wouldn't put any amount of,
I would guess that might be materials only.
What kind of sinks are they? Just porcelain or yellow or stainless steel?
we've got them both ways, where we've got some of the steel sinks and they wear really well.
I think you'd want steel ones because people can break the other ones. Not that people do that.
No, I'd be stunned if I saw that.
I don't know if they have a 12.
Benches and the rest area at Ice House Point Trail. That is that $6,500 that we still have in that REAP grant. We really need to be expending that money. Concrete garbage cans for Speaker Park. So that is something that is basically a nicety and makes things look a lot better within the park.
Didn't you already do some?
And we've done, we now have done them all on lakefront. Those are all done. I don't know that we've done any over the park.
How many are you talking over the park?
That's 4. They're about $500 a piece.
They're constantly getting, looks like they're constantly getting beat in, and someone's always,
Oh, the old metal ones
yeah,
and
I
stuff,
mean,
yeah.
they're just getting demolished over there, and they're chained to the trees, and it just looks like.
We haven't had any experience with the concrete ones and breaking them or anything, you know?
No, they've, I guess the experience has been good.
I see concrete, I just think of some kid that had there, and pretty soon you have a mile of concrete.
They focus on the lights. They focus on the lights.
Yeah, just keep them lights so they got something to smack at. They're cheaper than this.
Okay, we would like to replace folding chairs again. And we would look at about 20. We replaced 20 last year, but we sure could use another 20
They are
replaced.
showing range.
Sidewalk at the east end of mini golf. This would be just that area from the east side of mini golf to the concession window. Has a little extra pad in there and has a walkway over to that open shelter house.
That's the one last year I said no.
I'd say, is this another one that's something nice?
Just a
but
nicety or,
So it's fine, like, I think it's fine.
I'd like to take that $3,000 and spend it somewhere else. Well,
The,
3 cents
and I don't know that it's even a budgetary thing, there's more just, that's something I think needs to be done, but on that hill on the mini golf, you know, which is just at Lakeview or
Says welcome to
Lakeview or
Lakeview.
something. There's a few of those pieces that are broken up pretty good, but, you know, maybe just some Lakeview blue or something painted on those letters would really help them, I think, stand out a little bit, pop a little bit, because they're looking a little shabby, something needs to be done with them, and I don't know if you can even replace them individually, throw them broken off.
You can't.
but-
There, we actually make those.
Oh, really? Oh, well, maybe a couple of them just get, you know, replaced, and then maybe just a coat of blue paint on them, I think. Would really help them stand out of it. And I don't think that would cost much.
They're a little labor intensive to do it. They just cut a form out of concrete, or excuse me, out of styrofoam, fill the form with concrete, and have re-rods sticking out of it, and that's how they're shoved into the site, it's just these re-rods. That's why they can come out, that undoubtedly there's a few of them at the bottom of the lake somewhere.
I just think there's one or two that probably need to be replaced.
You can. This would say purchase 2 paddle boats. That seemed to be something that we wanted to take a look at. Replacing the dock in the campground.
That's all of it,
No, I'm not a big advocate of this. The dock isn't necessarily that bad.
which is the one not by the boat ramp, but the
Right,
one
it's
way
in the
over.
camp.
In the middle of
Oh.
the campground.
Mm.
You know, we got it as a freebie from DNR years back.
I think it's in the same shape as when we got it, it seems to me. I mean,
And then
I was down there
outside.
once last year and walked out on it, and it seemed fine. But, I
You might want to check the safety.
It's,
don't know. Oh, I think safety-wise, it's fine.
it's,
It just doesn't, it's not big shiny fancy plastic one like everybody wants, but, you know, it's free. So I would say probably,
okay. That's rock, for those 25 sites, that's actually half of the amount that we've done here for the past couple of years now.
but we're getting down to where we don't need,
Right, yeah.
Finally catching up now. A couple years ago, we put $5,000 in it.
Yeah, we've done it the past couple of years. $5,000 with the rock. Replacing that dump station down there.
I think that's something we need to do. Because we do have the crappy dump station, and we can't run it every day.
I think you've mentioned that.
It's pretty bad.
Well, it doesn't work quite right, or it's the level's wrong.
Well, it's just, everything runs downhill, you're sitting with a garden hose, you're shoving it up there and getting that stuff all over you. It's just not a fun thing. It's crappy.
Yep.